In the news, we constantly hear that the world is running out of oil. This should mean that worldwide supply will be smaller and the price of oil will be higher. However, the opposite is happening. Oil prices have dropped significantly, making oil relatively cheaper than ever. How is this possible? The price of oil, gas and coal is formed by supply and demand. Until recently, three forces influence this. Which forces are these? The first force is the growing importance of oil in our economy. We need oil for most heating, transportation, electricity, and it is a prime raw material for chemicals, fertilizer, and plastics. Because we use so much oil, the demand continues to increase. The second force is the emergence of monopoly positions. When capitalism reigns, multinational oil companies, merchants, and even individual investors can obtain monopoly positions in various parts of the production process. This allows them to set a price for their part of the process and hence impact the overall price of oil. The third force is the collection of geopolitical games being played in order to gain political power. An example is the nationalization of oil companies in a country, allowing the government to control production supply and impact the price of oil. So, these three forces have always determined the price of oil. At the end of the 20th century, a fourth force has entered the scene. Burning oil is one of the main causes of global warming. Therefore, alternative forms of self-renewing energy must replace oil as soon as possible. For this to happen, the price of oil should be higher and therefore fairer than it is now. This would make renewable sources more attractive to use. However, the price of oil still seems to be controlled by monopoly positions and geopolitical games. So who is playing these games, keeping the price so low? You might think that multinational oil companies like BP and Shell are in charge. In reality, there are many more national and international players in the oil game. One of these players is the OPEC, the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries. Forming this alliance of 12 already influential oil-producing countries made them powerful enough to determine worldwide supply and hence control the price in the past decades. However, in recent years, other players have also become powerful. To try to swiftly defeat this competition, OPEC has opened its oil taps completely, greatly increasing supply. This caused the price to have fallen so dramatically lately. Such a low price is not favorable for any oil-producing countries, so even the countries within OPEC are suffering. Yet, founder Saudi Arabia persists in hope of defeating competitors and securing OPEC's dominance in the worldwide oil trade. One of the powerful new players is Russia. Whenever OPEC carefully decreased production to stabilize the price of oil, Russia gradually increased its market share. This has resulted into Russia becoming one of the world's leading exporters of oil. Another major player, China, uses different tactics. Instead of taking on the competition, they economically stimulate several poor countries, mostly in Africa, in exchange for the rights to drill there and import the oil directly to China. This allows China to keep most of their oil trade away from the world market. The United States was always highly dependent on OPEC for their oil. In recent years, they have made great strides in extracting shale oil and gas, which is expensive and potentially harmful for the environment. Taking these risks made the US less dependent on other parties. With all these new players in the oil game, it seems that OPEC is losing the power to determine the oil price. So what will happen now? One scenario is that OPEC will succeed in crushing the new competition and have the power again. Or will all oil-producing parties survive with this low price? Or will there be a new dominant producer? All these scenarios rely on geopolitical games being able to keep oil an attractive source of energy, so that renewable energy sources don't stand a chance. But maybe the damage of oil on the environment will force oil to get a higher price, which would allow renewable energy sources to enter the market more rapidly. Is this just wishful thinking? Only time will tell.